This glacier is so big it covers multiple volcanoes. Vatnajökull is a true titan of the natural world, a colossal ice cap of almost unimaginable scale. It sits majestically across the southeastern portion of Iceland, covering a staggering 8% of the country. From a great distance, it appears as a serene mountain range peaks shimmering under the Arctic sun. But this stillness is deceptive, a quiet facade for immense power and subtle motion. Not merely a static block of ice, a living, breathing entity that shapes the land. Imagine a sheet of ice stretching for hundreds of kilometers thick enough to bury city skyscrapers. Average thickness around 400 meters in places, plunging to nearly 1,000. That immense weight presses down on the Earth's crust. The sheer volume of frozen water is breathtaking a reservoir, with huge implications for Iceland's geography and ecology. Beneath its thick frozen cloak, Vatnajökull conceals a dramatic and volatile secret, a network of active volcanoes. This is where two of nature's most powerful and opposing forces meet. The land of Iceland is born of volcanic fire, and here that geothermal energy smolders beneath hundreds of meters of compacted ice. Bardarbunga Grimsvatn lie dormant for long periods, their heat slowly melting the glacier base, creating vast subglacial lakes of unseen water. When one of these subterranean giants awakens, the encounter is cataclysmic. The eruption doesn't burst through the ice in a simple fiery spectacle. Instead, magma melts enormous quantities of ice, creating a massive buildup of water and steam trapped beneath the glacier's weight. The pressure grows and grows until it becomes unbearable. This is the prelude to one of Iceland's most formidable natural phenomena, a dramatic release of pent-up energy that can reshape landscape in hours. Eventually, the pressure becomes too great, and the meltwater bursts out from under the glacier edge, a terrifying and destructive flood, a jökulláp. These glacial outburst floods are not like ordinary river floods. They are torrents of water, ice, and rock, moving with incredible speed and force. They can carry house-sized blocks of ice for many kilometers, scouring the land bare and washing away roads and bridges. For lowland residents, these events are a known, ever-present risk, a powerful reminder of the untamable forces at play. This extraordinary dance between fire and ice defines the region. It is a cycle of creation and destruction, of slow, patient pressure and sudden, violent release. The volcanoes build the land from below, while the glacier grinds it down from above. The heat from the Earth's core fuels these outbursts, which carve new river paths and deposit rich volcanic sediments across the plains. It is a stark, beautiful illustration of a planet remaking itself. Forever remaking itself. Yeah, it's pretty intense. From the edges of the great ice cap, countless rivers are born, and streams are born. These glacial rivers are the lifeblood of the surrounding lowlands, carrying meltwater on a long journey to the sea. The water is often a milky, opaque gray or brown, clouded by the fine rock flour, sediment ground to a powder by the immense weight and movement of the glacier. This sediment is a sign of the glacier's constant work, the physical evidence of mountains being slowly but surely worn away and transported downstream, building up new land along the coast. These rivers are powerful agents of change, shaping the landscape as they flow. In the spring and summer, as temperatures rise and the sun's rays intensify, the flow of meltwater increases, and the rivers swell, their currents strong and swift. They provide essential water for the sparse vegetation that carpets the valleys and plains, supporting the farms that have clung to this rugged land for centuries. The ecosystem here is finely tuned to the rhythms of the glacier, with the seasonal pulse of water dictating the cycles of life for plants, insects, and the birds that feed upon them. Another, more ephemeral wonder is created by this meltwater: the ice caves. During the warmer months, water flows over and through the glacier, carving intricate tunnels and caverns deep within the ice. As winter returns and the water recedes or freezes, these hidden chambers become accessible. To step inside one is to enter another world. The light filtering through the dense, ancient ice is stripped of all its red wavelengths and yellow wavelengths, leaving only an intense, ethereal blue. The walls are smooth and translucent, glowing as if lit from within. These caves of sapphire ice are not permanent structures. They are transient and ever-changing. A cave that is a breathtaking cathedral one year may collapse or melt away by the next. Their temporary nature makes them all the more precious, a fleeting glimpse into the heart of the glacier. For those who visit, guided by experts who understand the risks, it is an unforgettable experience. It is a moment of profound connection with the raw beauty of the ice, a reminder that even in this immense and seemingly solid mass, there is constant change and delicate artistry at work. It's really something to behold. Vatnajökull is more than just a magnificent feature of the landscape. It is also a priceless scientific archive, a detailed record of Earth's climate history. The ice has formed over thousands of years, with each year's snowfall compressing the layers below it. Trapped within this ice are tiny bubbles of ancient atmosphere, samples of the air from centuries and millennia past. By drilling deep into the glacier and extracting ice cores, scientists can analyze these bubbles and understand what our planet's climate was like long before human records began, giving us a vital baseline against which to measure today's changes. These ice cores tell a clear and increasingly urgent story. They reveal past fluctuations in temperature, the composition of the atmosphere, and evidence of distant volcanic eruptions in the form of fine ash layers. But the most recent layers, combined with modern satellite measurements, paint a worrying picture. For many decades now, the glacier has been in retreat. The amount of ice melting during the summer now far exceeds the amount of snow accumulating during the winter. Vatnajökull, like so many of its counterparts around the globe, is shrinking. The evidence of this retreat is starkly visible at the glacier's edges, or tongues, where the ice flows down into valleys. Markers placed decades ago now stand in green fields, meters away from the ice they once touched. Large lagoons, such as the famous Jökulsárlón, have formed at the terminus of these glacial tongues, filled with meltwater and dotted with icebergs that have calved off the receding ice front. These beautiful but melancholic scenes are a direct and tangible consequence of a warming global climate, a visual representation of a fundamental shift in our planet's equilibrium. This melting has profound consequences, not just for Iceland, but for the world. The vast quantity of fresh water being released contributes, albeit in a small but measurable way, to global sea level rise. Locally, it alters the flow of rivers, impacts hydroelectric power generation, and changes the unique ecosystems that depend on the cold, stable environment the glacier provides. Vatnajökull is acting as a sensitive indicator of global health, a canary in the coal mine for our planet's climate system, sending us a clear and undeniable message about the scale and pace of the change that is now underway. The future of this magnificent ice giant is now inextricably linked to our own actions. The story that Vatnajökull tells is no longer just one of deep geological time, but also one of rapid, human-induced change. The fate of this vast wilderness of ice hangs in a delicate balance, and the scales are tipping. Scientists who have dedicated their lives to studying the glacier predict that if current warming trends continue, the ice cap could lose a significant portion of its mass within the next 1 or 2 centuries, a mere blink of an eye in its long history. To lose Vatnajökull would be to lose so much more than a block of ice. It would mean the disappearance of its brilliant blue caves, the silencing of its powerful glacial rivers, and the end of the unique dance between fire and ice that has defined this land for so long. The landscape of Iceland would be fundamentally and irrevocably altered. The habitats that depend on its presence would vanish, and a vital source of fresh water would be diminished. It would be a profound loss, not only for the natural world, but for our human heritage as well. This is a place that inspires humility and awe, a landscape that reminds us of the power of nature and our own relative smallness. It teaches us respect. Visitors who come to walk on its ancient ice or sail among its newly formed icebergs often leave with a deeper appreciation for the fragility of our world. The responsibility to protect such places extends far beyond the borders of Iceland. It is a global duty. The health of Vatnajökull is a reflection of the health of our entire planet, a barometer for the well-being of the global commons we all share. The path forward requires a collective change in perspective, a shift from exploitation to stewardship. The quiet, simple message from this melting giant is one of urgency and care. By listening to the science, by reducing our impact on the climate, and by fostering a deeper connection to the natural world, we can work to slow the changes that threaten it. The future of Vatnajökull, and countless other natural wonders like it, depends on the choices we make today. We must act with the foresight and wisdom to ensure that future generations will also have the chance to stand in the presence of this great ice giant and marvel at its silent, frozen majesty. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe.